guys, and welcome to a new video on Sono's life. First thing, if you didn't realise, I rejumbled my wall up a bit. So if you have a look, I've got my new Jay White picture there, and I've changed the bottom. So Jay's no longer there, that's like 3k pop. But I have my Aussie Open, Jay White and Tanahashi signed pictures from this year's Road Quest. Thought I'd just point that out because, you know, why not? And sort of linking to that, this week's video. So like ages ago, I think one of my first videos was me rating the New Japan factions. And I thought, well, a lot has happened since then. We've had a new faction. Shit has happened. Like, I thought, why don't we go ahead and do a new one? Now, this faction's rated list, I'm going to say, is just focused on the New Japan ones. No New Japan Strong, no like other ones, just because I think it gets too complicated. And obviously, you know, I don't watch New Japan Strong as much, so I'm not as knowledgeable. And it would be unfair to put them in compared to like the Japanese ones. So this is going to be based on success rate, the chemistry within the faction, so between the members, individual success, tag team success, but also just like generally like my feelings towards them. So obviously, if you see my list and you go, eh? It might just be because more of my favourite wrestlers are in it, if that makes sense. So, I mean, yeah, let's get going with it. And we're going to start with, at the bottom of the list. Now, I hate to do this. Because I think like a few years ago, they would have been at the top. At the bottom of the list at, let me see, I think it's like number 6. Should we put number 6 is Chaos. If it's not number 6, I'll work it out. But I think, let me just double check. We have LIJ, Hontai, Bullet Club, Suzuki-gun, LIJ and the Empire. 6. Right, so number 6 is Chaos. Like I said, a few years ago, they would have been my favourite, mainly because that's where Jay White started. What is my issue with Chaos? There just doesn't seem to be much going on. I love the wrestlers in it. So we've got Yo, Goto, Yoshihashi, Ishii, Okada, Rob Eagle, Rocky Romero, but they're not doing much. After the amazing like hype that they got when obviously the Never 6-man trios and the Bishamon duo of Yoshihashi and Goto in the tag division, it was great. And obviously you think, but Sono shouldn't be higher. They've got Kazuchika Okada. Kazuchika Okada is main eventing Wrestle Kingdom after winning the G1 for the 2nd time in a row. There's just nothing that brings them as a faction. Individually, they are all great and have some amazing matches. You've even got Toriano and things like that. But they almost seem like the faction that by de facto is just put together. They have amazing, like, obviously we know they have the shows, the Yano and things, but at this moment, it almost feels like Chaos could go and I wouldn't feel too impacted by it. Maybe it's the fact that they're now doing a lot with Taguchi Japan or Hontai, so the lines have been blurred. But I feel like they have lost the Chaos identity. And that makes me sad because Chaos, like I said, was the faction that I loved to start with. Not just because of Jay White, but remember we had Roppongi 3K and all of that, Will Ospreay and things like that. But I feel like you lost Jay, you lost Ospreay, you lost Sho. It kind of sets a very bad precedent for Chaos as a faction. It's not to say they are rubbish. Like I said, they have some of the best wrestlers in the world. But collectively as a unit, I feel like most people agree they are not the most impactful. Number 5. So number 5 is another like, everyone's going to be like, why is it so low? Because you love them so much. It is Hontai. Again, I guess it sort of links with the whole Chaos thing that you have now blurred the lines between Chaos and Hontai. And they now team together a lot often. All because of that man there. Hontai, I guess, a faction that's never really... If you rank factions in New Japan, are never going to be at the top. Not for a bad reason, just they are the home faction. They are the ones that young lions, if they don't have a place to go, will go there. So for example, recently Ren Narita seems to be the newest member of Hontai. We had Wato come in, he's a member of Hontai. So I think for those who are maybe figuring out what they want to do with their careers, Hontai is the best place. Of course, I can't complain about it. It has some of the best wrestlers in the world. You have the 3rd Generation Club, Honma and Makabe, who are also technically GBH, but I wasn't putting GBH as a separate one because then they'd be at the bottom and I feel really bad because there's only 2 members. Sorry. But yeah, you've got Hiroshi Tanahashi, Taguchi, like Wato's been doing it, David Finlay, They're all amazing wrestlers, but I guess the Taguchi Japan whole like faction premises is not, the bond isn't as strong. You won't see many Taguchi Japan teams, for example, like in World Tag League and things like that, really making a statement. For example, now we've got Tama, Hikuleo and Tangaloa, who are now the newest members of Hontai. They've added something fresh to it, and I guess from there we can maybe focus a bit more on tag division. We've just seen, sadly, Taguchi, Tanahashi and Hikuleo lose against Bullet Club for the Never Trios titles. However, I feel like that maybe this new blood with a bit more edge to it, apologies to like Wato and Narita, will maybe set Hontai up. But I still think compared to the other factions I'm going to talk about, their identity is less clear. But you know what? Here's a picture of me with Tanahashi to make up for it. So yeah, Hontai, I love them, like some of the nicest people, the home faction for a reason, just not that high on this list. Number 4. You're going to get angry at me for number 4, because you're going to be like, but Sono, Jay White. Number 4 is Bullet Club. The only reason it is so high is because of the amount of gold they have. They have the Never title. They have the Never title. If by the time this is posted, they've decided what to do with the Never title on Anderson, who knows? Bullet Club have the Never 6-man titles with Yujiro Sho and Evil. They have the Junior title with Ishimori, and they have the Heavyweight title with Jay. That is the legit. That and my love for Jay is the only reason this faction is so high. I did a video a few months ago with this whole stuff going with Tama, Tangaloa and Hikuleo. It just feels like at the moment Bullet Club is a story of too many players in the kitchen. Like, we all know that Bullet Club was formed on betrayal, basically like everyone betraying him to become leader. I think Jay's probably been like one of the most stable ones we've had, but it almost feels like there is too much going on. We have House of Torture and then Bullet Club. Like, God bloody knows what the House of Torture is, you know, Dick Dogo, Yujiro and Evil, but the fact Sho is in there as well. I almost feel like there's also too many big egos. Like, we have some amazing talent. Like, don't get me wrong, if you put some of the best wrestlers, Jay White, El Phantasmo at the moment, Kenta, all Bullet Club guys. But apart from that, it's almost like they're stuck in the same place. They're not giving us anything new apart from like cheating, especially when it comes to House of Torture. So there's cheating or they're just not there. Like, I've said this, at the top is probably Jay, Kenta and El Phantasmo, because especially with ELP and Jay, there has been a lot less cheating in their big title matches or the big G1 matches, which I really appreciated. So yeah, as a girl who was Bullet Club for life, they're at number 4. Okay, that was actually quite good. I'm quite excited with that transition. We'll take that. But yeah, no, like, obviously I still love Jay so much, like one of my favourite wrestlers in the world. But Bullet Club is one of those where when there is so much going on, it's almost like you lose the will to care because nothing just seems to hit you. But like I said, Jay's the world heavyweight champion for a reason. He's an amazing leader for Bullet Club. I just feel like we need a new direction with it. Oh, and yeah, here's a picture of me with Jay. I don't know, am I going to put 1? Am I going to put 2? Am I going to put all 3? We'll see. But that leads me to the top 3. So the top 3 I was really struggling with because this is all like, it's like a battle with like my head and my heart. So yeah, don't get annoyed at me if you see it. So number 3 is Suzuki-gun. Oh, Sono, why are they so low? You love Suzuki-gun. Suzuki-gun Ichiban. It is the lack of success with Suzuki-gun that has put them here. So at the moment, Murder Dad Minoru Suzuki is doing his thing here, there and everywhere, so we've not really seen him in New Japan in Japan much. But we still had the Murder Ducklings doing some great things. We've had Doki literally being the most popular wrestler humanly possible. When they came to Japan, they literally loved him so much, and I was so happy. You've got Kanemaru, didn't obviously get very far with a TV title, but still holding his own as a very strong wrestler. Desperado, he is now set to challenge for the IWGP Junior Championship at Wrestle Kingdom against champion Ishimori, Hiromu and Master Wato. And then you've got Zack and Taichi. So Zack, roller coaster of a career at the moment, doing really well, but obviously falling at the head of, falling at the G1, falling with his match against Naito to get the US title match. And Taichi, again, having an amazing, like, chemistry and storyline with Sanada at the moment. But I guess you're thinking, well, Sonal, if they're doing so badly, apart from Despy, why are they so high? It is because of their chemistry as a team. Do you know what I said with like Hontai and like sometimes Bullet Club? There are too many people, there's not really like this team chemistry. That couldn't be more different with Suzuki-gun. They are literally a family, whether it's appearing on each other's YouTube channel. Who Iska also made an appearance on Taichi's channel with the Iron Gloves, so keep an eye on that. Tag matches, just going out drinking and having fun. Sorry, I also forgot Taka Michinoku, who's not always getting the pin now. Back to it. And just generally they have this chemistry with each other and it feels like they're a proper faction, not just guys randomly thrown together. I guess like that's the thing. It doesn't matter how successful you are as a faction. If you are just a group of guys, it just doesn't work because it just feels like you've just cherry picked. Here you've got guys from like very similar Rudo backgrounds, but very different styles. So whether you've got the techers of Zack, strength of Taichi, submission, specialism of like Kanemaru and Despy, or like the craziness of Doki, and then obviously Murder Dad being Murder Dad. It just works together, and I feel like Suzuki-gun, if it was just with my heart, Suzuki-gun would be number one. But like I said, I've got to balance it with everything else going on. So Suzuki-gun is at number 3. And because I've not met anyone from Suzuki-gun, you'll have to just stare at my face. So at number 2 was probably one of the hardest decisions. We have LIJ, so Los Ingobernables de Japón, and the Empire left. And at number 2, due to just the lack of current like titles and things, Los Ingobernables de Japón. Like, I guess if you think of a faction as a whole, they should be number 1. Whenever you talk about like superior teams in New Japan, LIJ are always there. They are such a close-knit group of people. They are basically telepathic with each other. And even with the new addition of Titan from CMLL, everything just kind of works. You have so many different like combinations. So you could have heavyweights, you could have Naito and Sanada. Sanada and Takagi. Takagi and Naito. Did I do that one? You have 3 heavyweights for the heavyweight tag league. So especially with tag league coming up, I feel like it'll be Takagi and Sanada. You have so many for the junior division. So now you have Titan, Bushi and Hiromu. So we've obviously got at the moment Titan and Bushi for the tag titles. And Hiromu is challenging in that fatal 4-way with Despy, Wato and Ishimori at Wrestle Kingdom. So you literally have things everywhere. I mean, we already know we have Takagi at the moment as the King of Pro Wrestling champion, without a trophy thanks to El Fantasma. Yes, El Fantasma, how dare you break Yano's baby. But, so that's why they're at number 2, because they legit only have 1 title when this video is posted. Of course, Naito is set to face Ospreay on the 5th of November for the US title, which I think is one of the only titles he hasn't held. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. So maybe if like he takes that might have like bumped him up, but we're not doing it then. In terms of LIJ as well, their personalities are so amazing. You have got 6 very different people who are very similar at the core. So you've got guys who, on one end, the Tranquilo end, so Sanada and Naito. Middle, you've got Bushi and Titan, I'd guess. And then at the not Tranquilo and literally crazy as hell and will put 120% into everything, you have Shingo and Hiromu. But also what puts them all similar is they're all outcasts in a way, but all willing to break the rules to get the win. It just works. I think Los Ingobernables de Japón is probably, aside from maybe Bullet Club, one of the most popular and famous factions in the world, all from CMLL. And I think it'd be stupid not to put LIJ this high. So yeah, here's my pictures with LIJ from this year. And then that just leaves number 1, which is the Empire. Okay, so the last time I did this video, the Empire wasn't a thing. Well, I don't think it was a thing. And now they're at the top of my list. Why? So at the start, there was a lot of ups and downs with the Empire, especially when it came to Cobb and Okan and the tag titles, and just generally like the success rate. At this current time, they are probably got some of the strongest wrestlers in the world. So let's run it down. At the helm of it all, you have Will Ospreay. IWGP United States Champion, probably one of the hardest workers and best wrestlers in the world. Okan and Jeff Cobb, powerhouses in the tag division, despite not having the best record with the titles, have been doing amazingly well teaming in multi-tag matches and also just generally as wrestlers themselves. You have Aussie Open, probably again, one of the best tag teams in the world. I've loved them for years. With the Empire as their home, they have got a new edge to them. And I think they are legitly like phenomenal. Like some of the best matches I've ever seen live and on telly have been from Aussie Open. You then have Aaron Henare. At the moment, not yet, I think, reach where he could be. But since joining the Empire and leaving Hontai, has really been able to shine. Picking up a lot less losses, it does make sense. Making an impact in the matches even if he might not get the win. And also just like this new spirit in him that we've always seen, but with a slight edge. We have the IWGP Junior Champions, Francesco Akira and TJP, currently set to defend their titles against Titan and Bushi, but have done really well. Have they done any defense? I feel like they had a defense, did really well in that. Two very different wrestlers. So you've got very young 23-year-old Francesco Akira, I think he's old, and then obviously veteran TJP. Together they perfectly balance each other with styles, so like the more mat-based with TJP and the more technical, like high-flying, what you'd expect from a junior from Akira. Amazing team, really nice fresh blood into the junior tag division. And even Gideon Gray, my guy loses, he wears really questionable ring gear, but he's a nice bit of humour to it. And I feel like he's very underrated. Like I never appreciated him in the UK scene, but now I am. So that is why. And I think as a team, their personalities and styles all work together. They have this close bond, all reflecting the fact that unlike any other faction, they all have very similar gear with the green colours. And I really like that. Green, black and white, I think. Yeah, they are literally badass as hell. And that's why they are number one. And I will fight anyone who disagrees with me. Unless you say Suzuki-gun, because then I'll be like, yeah, I know I should have put Suzuki-gun, but they've not got any titles at the moment. So yeah, that was my 6. And I don't think I missed out any faction. I'd be really upset if I did. My rankings for the New Japan factions updated 2022. Like I said, there's a lot happening in the next few months. So Wrestle Kingdom World Tag League. Who knows? By like January 6th next year, it might be a totally different ranking. But I know a lot of people have asked for an updated version. So here you go. And now it's your turn to let me know. In the comments, on social media at wrestling_chat, let me know who your favourite faction is. Or better yet, legit rank them for me from worst to best and give me your reasons. Because I want to see that I'm not alone. And while you're there, make sure to hit like, share the video, and subscribe. You know what? I love that every time people are saying, oh, I like watching your videos, or I've hit subscribe. It makes me feel nice. And that someone actually likes watching my videos, which is always good. So hit that subscribe button. Like I've said many times, that we are officially on the road to Wrestle Kingdom, so there's going to be a lot more content. So make sure to stay tuned, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye!